In this video, I want to have a look at direct variation. So direct variation is when the value of one variable directly depends on the value of the other. So what that means is that if one variable increases, the other one also increases. It works the other way as well. If one decreases, the other one also decreases. And it all happens in the same proportions. So if the value of one variable halves, the other one halves as well. If one triples, the other one triples as well. So one of the most common examples of direct variation that you'll see and that you'll be used to in real life is that a person's wage directly depends on the number of hours they work. So if they work 5 times as many hours, they're going to get 5 times as much money. So we can represent direct variation situations with an equation, and it's called a variation equation. So if y is directly proportional to x, then we write y equals kx, where that k is a constant, so it's a number, and it's called the constant of proportionality. So k is the rate at which the quantities change. So if we're looking at the example we had above, then that k would be the hourly rate of pay. The example that I want to have a look at today says Jeremy's earnings from working at a fast food restaurant are directly proportional to the number of hours he worked. So we're looking at that same situation that we had in the example earlier. So it says yesterday he earned $222.70 for working an 8.5-hour shift. So part A says find the variation equation relating his earnings to the number of hours worked. So we know our variation equation is going to be in the form y equals kx. But we'll just rewrite it to make it a little bit more relevant. We know that the earnings are directly proportional to the number of hours he works. So let's say E is directly proportional to H. So his earnings and his hours. So what we're going to do then is we need to find the value of this constant k. So we're going to substitute in the values that we're given, the $222.70 and the 8.5. So 222.70 is equal to k times 8.5. So we've got this equation. To find k, we're going to divide both sides by 8.5. So that'll give us our k on its own. So we'd end up with k is equal to 26.2. So what that means is that instead of our equation being E equals kh, it'll be E equals 26.2h. So that's part A. And what that means is that 26.2, that means he earns $26.20 per hour. All right, part B, how much will he earn for working a 5-hour shift? So part B, so we've got this equation now, that's what we're always going to start with. So E equals 26.2h. So working a 5-hour shift, that's our h, so it'll be 26.2 times 5. And popping that in your calculator will give you $131. So a 5-hour shift, $131. Part C says how many hours would he need to work to earn $500? So we're still starting with that same variation equation, but we want to earn $500. So that's going to be our E equals 26.2h. So to get h, we're going to have to divide by 26.2, and of course we have to do it to the other side of the equation as well. And if we round to the nearest whole number, that will come out to give us 19. So we'd have to work 19 hours to earn $500. So that's one example of direct variation problem.